So I offer him $6,000. And I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, that's a really good deal. I wonder what's up with it. So like I said, I'm off for a whole week. Didn't have anything else to do. So I thought, well, I better go at least look at it. And at the time I had, a few cars that I was flipping. I had like an '08 Lincoln Navigator and some Volvo and I don't know what else. I think I had a pickup truck. So I figured that we could make some kind of a deal, maybe get it even cheaper than their asking price. I'm assuming at this time that it's just like a mom and pop dealership, and we have a lot of buy here, pay here lots here, and I figured that maybe they ended up with it and didn't know what it was, and that's why it was priced that way. Well, I set up an appointment with the car salesman, and I get there, and to my surprise, it's a new car dealership. And it was an out-of-state trade. Guy came from Charlotte, traded in on a new Jeep, and it was in the back row, and it was going to go to auction, and he was just trying to sell it, to an individual before it went to auction. They couldn't put it on the lot. It's too old, too high miles, too risky. It's modified old BMW. So I'm checking the car out. I mean, it's riced out. It's got Sparko stickers on it. It's got some weird paint going on with the hood and the front bumper, which the bumper was falling off. iDrive didn't work. Tires bald, spray painted factory wheels. It was lowered on springs. Oil pan was cracked, which I didn't know at the time. So needless to say, it was pretty rough. Battery was dead. Took us 2 jump packs to start it up, but it started up and sounded really healthy. Really healthy. I was just astonished that it ran as good as it did. And wasn't in like the worst shape, but So I proceeded to make an offer on it. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way that they're going to accept this offer. And that's kind of why I made the offer. Because I wasn't in the market for, one of those cars. I was really looking for something to flip, during the holiday season to make some extra cash. So I offer him $6,000. And he was like, that's really close to what we got in. I don't know if they'll accept that or not, but he said, we can write it up and I'll go ask. And I said, all right. And this dealership's old school. He said, they got out a piece of paper and I wrote my offer down, signed it. He took it to the sales manager. And to my surprise, he comes back a few minutes later and he said, they accepted it. And I'm like, holy crap. I was like, well, I just bought me an M3. Didn't even mean to. So he said, are you paying cash today or, And I was like, well, in my head I'm thinking I don't have $6,000 just sitting at the house. So I had to make up something. I said, well, let me pay a deposit on it and move some cash around. My cash is tied up in Bitcoin, which was true at the time, but the main reason was I didn't want my girlfriend to find out. So I go to the bank, come back. I think I put down like $500 and just signed a promissory note. And a couple days later, I did, transfer some money to my bank account. And me and some friends went back and I said, well, I'd like to test drive it. Because at this time I hadn't test drove the car. So I said, I'd like to test drive it, make sure, it's got all the gears and, the engine doesn't have a knock and the high RPMs, whatever. And we took it down the road and I had the salesman a little bit scared. It was raining. It rained this whole week, of course, with ball tires. And the car was lowered, pretty low. And we're going out, just an old beat up country road, and we're hitting potholes and the car's sliding, and I'm not even driving fast, but it's doing its thing with ball tires and rear wheel drive. So my friend is in the back seat and he goes to roll the back window down and boom, it slides all the way down to the bottom of the door. So apparently it had a bad window regulator on top of everything else. And it was funny, whatever, but kind of sucked because after I bought it, I had to drive it 25 miles home on the interstate with the window covered in plastic. But we go back, we do the paperwork, get a temp tag, and I proceed to drive the car home. sweating the whole way. For one, I didn't know if it was going to make it, and for two, I didn't know if I was going to spin out and hit a wall on the interstate. But I make it home. Well, actually, I took it to my shop. Again, I didn't want my girlfriend to know I even bought this thing. So I take it to my shop, and I stand back, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, wow, like I just got an E90 M3 for $6,000. Just, my mind is blown right now. It had to have been the cheapest clean title running and driving E90 in the United States for sure, possibly the world. So I filmed a video walk around the car because I planned on de-ricing it and fixing a number of things. And actually the day that before I even got home, I had ordered a window regulator for it on the way home. It was like 30 bucks. So immediately I get to work on this thing. I took all the stickers off, new window regulator. The iDrive wasn't working due to a bad satellite radio module. So I just bought a fiber optic loop, plugged that in, bypassed that. My iDrive started working. The car had a headlight out. It was due to a bad headlight module with the adaptive headlights. I had one of those laying around, plugged it in, fixed the headlight, not even an error code. I don't know how because I didn't code it to the car. But I had a spare set of wheels I bought off a 550i. It was a trade-in at a friend's dealership and got a good deal on those wheels. Brand new P0s. And surprisingly, the E60 550i is the same wheel offset and tire size as the factory E90 M3. So I put those on. Car's starting to look really good. I take it to the school where I teach auto body at, and we resprayed the front end, fixed the front bumper, did a couple other little things to it, and really got the car looking good. I cleaned it up. The interior cleaned up excellent, and I drove it for a couple weeks. By the time I got the car really nice and clean, I ended up showing it to my girlfriend, and she wasn't even mad about it. I enjoyed the car. It was a fun car to drive. I really had second thoughts of getting rid of it, but what ended up happening is we had been looking for a new family vehicle. We needed an SUV with third row seats, and we'd been looking at Mercedes GLs. So I found one in Akron, Ohio, but I was texting the salesman and I said, I have a few vehicles. I had, that Navigator and that Volvo. I forget what the Volvo was, and I even had a brand new jet ski that I hated, and I don't know why I even bought it. And they weren't interested in the jet ski, wintertime, go figure. So I mentioned the M3, and boom, they hit me back with 11.5 trade-in on that M3. And I was like, heck yeah, that's a big profit, $4,500 after doing all the repairs. And I said, all right, let's do it. So a few days later, I was scared to drive the car that far because of rod bearing issues. There was no service history on this car, none. Even on the Carfax, nothing about rod bearings. I even contacted the previous owner. He had never done the rod bearings, didn't know when they were done, if they were done. Also, throttle body actuators, just typical E90 M3 issues that I didn't want to deal with, especially this close to making that much profit. So I loaded the car on a trailer, towed it up to a Walmart about 15 minutes from the dealership, and fired the car up, drove to the dealership, park it, and I'm like, that's long drive. It wasn't too bad though. The car did great, blah blah blah, and the car really did run good. I just wasn't taking any chances of catastrophic failure that close to making that much profit for such little work. So the deal went through. They were very happy to get the car. The car salesman was, excited to drive it, and ended up taking the GL 550 home, and it's been an excellent vehicle. But still to this day, I have not seen a cheaper E90 M3. Again, clean title, ran and drove, in decent condition. Yet to find one in the United States, possibly.